I'm Saudi, so I have like this whole we have kings in Saudi Arabia. So to me, it was a little wordplay on King RX in terms of Saudi Arabia, king royalty and pharmacy, but also King Rex is the way that you would mispronounce it. But that also makes me sound like I'm king of kings. So it's a double entendre. Drugs, when I say the word drugs, it elicits a lot of fears about street drugs. So the first, the ones that come to mind are heroin or so. But unfortunately, a lot of the people today who are addicted to heroin, 75% of those, give or take, started out with a legitimate prescription opioid medication. Whether it was from a legitimate injury, from work, or from high school sports. A large majority of them were receiving legal, safe prescriptions. In medicine, we also hear about these topics of racism in healthcare. So certain populations will get lesser treatments based on the color of their skin or their socioeconomic status. So these divides or these systemic racist issues exist in healthcare as well. And I think we need to bring them out to light, especially since it's kind of our job to be the bridge between community and healthcare when it comes to medication, since we're the medication experts. So kind of tie that all in together. It is a war on drugs in the essence of it's a war on the perception that we give drugs, whether they are safe or not safe, and to look back and reflect on, okay, well, what have we done already to tackle these drug-related issues, and have they worked? Because the war on drugs has not proven to be successful. I think the stigma behind drugs in general, unfortunately, it's very negative. It's associated with people with low morale. It's associated with crime and just maliciousness. But I personally believe that there's a story behind every addiction, because not every person is an addict. They're just people going through addiction. What you can do as a patient, just as your everyday regular layman, is read up and be educated on what you are receiving. So if the doctor is writing you a prescription for something, you can look it up yourself and kind of get an idea of what it is. Now, I'm not asking you to go play Dr. Google and just get freaked out at all the side effects. That's what the pharmacist is for.
Your brother suffered from addiction and had an overdose in 2019. How did the meaning of the War on Drugs song change after that?
I feel like once you go through something, you kind of get a whole different perspective on it. I could have easily been sitting here not having gone through that trauma and said the exact same lines because I read them in a book somewhere or because a professor told me to. So to feel that pain, to feel like knowing how people are thinking he lived, knowing that people are judging his life based on the way he passed, it gives me a sense of purpose to reach across the aisle, so to speak, and kind of meet people where they are, understanding that the stigma and these stereotypes come from somewhere, but as someone who has gone through this experience firsthand, and as someone who is like an expert on drugs and medications, I feel like I'm perfectly fit to be that person.